Live in full effect.
You good?
Yeah, man.
Yo.
Hey.
Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year's.
We're wearing the same clothes as last episode.
That's weird.
It's not weird. We're prepared.
We don't shower.
I did not say that. I said we're prepared. Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year's, man.
Do you believe in New Year's resolutions yet?
Oh, I didn't before, right? I think this year I might not do. I don't know what we call these. I'm doing goals.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm setting goals. I'm setting goals this year. I'm definitely setting goals this year.
But usually go by your birthday. You don't go by New Year. You go from July. You go July to July.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be more of a overarching 5-year plan thing.
Okay.
So resetting my goals, what did I accomplish, what I didn't accomplish the last 3 months, and then, go from there. Because I break up my goals in 3 months. So July, August.
That's probably the best way you can keep achieving them.
Yeah, July, August, September. That's the first 3 months. Mm-hmm. October, November, December. That's the 3 months I'm in now. I'm going to set out for January, February, March. And then I'm also going to do revise my 5-year plan.
Oh, okay.
I might do it with the missus.
Damn. Oh, okay. Yeah. Confused me for a second. I was so lost.
What, about the missus?
Yeah, I was like...
Hey, give me a sec. Technical difficulties.
Okay.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Sorry, I'm not about to look up to no mic.
I feel you, man. I just say, call me. I'm just having my brain works fast. I was like, whoa. Mrs. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I feel pressure to call my girl Mrs.
You could call it bro if you wanted to.
Why you going?
Whatever you want to do.
I love you, girl.
High key, son. You've been in the relationship the longest, bro.
Yeah.
With little problems.
Yeah.
That's actually amazing.
You gotta protect your peace, bro. Even from your own lady, okay? Protect your peace.
I hope that's your girl. Know how lucky she is. I don't think
that's accepted society for men to for girls to be lucky by the guy they with.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of trash people out here. So
I don't believe that. My girl tell me that all the time. My girl be like, "There's no good guys out here." I'm like, "Stop saying that, man."
I ain't say there's no good guys.
No,
there's a lot of trash guys out here.
I don't even believe that, man. Come on, man. You're a numbers.
You don't believe that?
You're a numbers guy, bro. Like, play the probability. You telling me there's for every one good guy, how many trash guys is it?
5.
Oh, come on, stop it, bro. We got better, bro. We are better as men. Monique actually had a video not too long ago. I think I sent it to you. I don't think I did.
The one with the queens?
Yes. Monique said, "You know what? Are we really queens?" Because she started off by saying, "I was walking on the beach thinking to myself," and I just thought it. I was like, "Oh, that never the recipe for a good thought." You know what I mean? We call each other queen. Are we queens? And then, somebody, you can't say that on Twitter because people are going to drag you. People are going to be like, well, what do you suggest? Do you suggest to call you the B word and stuff like that? But, I'm lucky to have my lady. So I don't know how we got there, but.
Me too. I know how you going to wrap this up because I wasn't going to touch that.
Don't be scary in 2022.
Shout out to all my black queens out there.
What about white queens?
Huh? Whoa.
You don't believe in white?
Remember Emmett Till? You know what happened to Emmett Till?
Save it for February.
Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, shout out to all my white people, man.
Man.
Next year, I'm not going to be as racist towards y'all. I'm not racist to y'all now. It's just jokes. I like jokes. Comedy. Y'all always talk about let the comic. I'm not a comic, but you always talk about let the comic speak its mind.
One thing I want to do this year in 2022, I have my 10-year goal. So I think I should start dividing it with
that'll be good.
Do it quarterly.
Yeah.
I watched a video not too long ago, and somebody said, I'm gonna send it to you. Beware of becoming addicted to setting goals. Usually the one that always like, oh, I'm gonna set a goal, or like addicted to those motivational videos and things like that. But you really don't. You basically just like what you feel in the moment of watching it, but really at the end of it, you don't really change anything. You just move on to another goal setting. But I don't know. I might
that kind of went past me. So it's just the fact that you setting the goal, not the fact that you're actually like achieving the goal.
Yeah, it's like just becoming addicted to all that stuff. I might actually do a vision board with my girl. I might actually get a I don't know where we go. I'm not buying magazines, so we gotta find magazines or whatever, or because I'm not buying something to just cut out and put on a board. But my girl into arts and crafts, so
just go to people's bathrooms. They usually got magazines right there. Or
COVID, I'm not going into people's houses.
Okay, that's fair. But go to the doctor's office. They always got magazines.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So, but I'm gonna do the arts and crafts. Now I'm sitting on camera. I actually have to do it now. So. I'm actually going to do it.
Just ban her from watching your YouTube videos.
We need her support.
That's fair.
We need her support. So what what topic we going to touch on today?
I was, I've been dealing with a lot with, cause you know how we used to be about emotions being pointless and being logical and not really letting your emotions drive you. But I think that's been changing,
Uh-oh.
I think, I'm starting to appreciate emotions a little bit more.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, that's fair. And you're probably going to say that for most of this podcast. I'm not going to even say, hear me out. You don't got to hear me out. That's probably going to be your feeling for most of this process. And I think it started with, I forgot his name, but the guy that does karate with the black boys and stuff. Just hearing him speak about a lot
the
about
bald guy.
The
bald guy with the gray beard. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And so it started with him when he was talking about men need to be able to embrace their emotions a little bit more. And then also you hear a lot of guys talking about how like the suicide rate within males are high. You hear about how a lot of men are not happy. And it could be also, people are saying that the men are soft nowadays, which is okay. That's it is what it is. Men are always gonna get softer as time goes on. There's nobody.
Are we?
Yeah, we ain't Spartans. We ain't chasing our food with spears. We ain't battling to the death to see who's president.
But that doesn't mean we getting softer.
What's harder than it was from that to now? Where
I'm just saying. I feel
man saying you could cry back in the day. You had to fight to the death.
I still don't been crying, but I feel you.
The Harder They Fall was a hard movie.
I'm trying to think. The Harder They Fall.
With Idris Elba.
Yes, I did see it. Yes,
I was thinking about how like back in the day, you had a dispute with somebody. you shoot out. Without blinking, and it's like who was the fastest? Okay. That's a wild way to live. We're not doing that nowadays.
No.
You get beat up, you let the person walks away from beating you up. You pull out a gun and shoot them in the back. That's what we do now.
Okay.
Well, not we. Some people. Anyways, but yeah, this whole talk about people getting softer and whatnot, but the fact that the males or the men in society are deemed to be or have to be less emotional, it seems that it's having a negative effect. To the other point, though, I feel like there's power with understanding emotions.
Okay.
I think if you look through history, the greatest leaders was the ones that know how to tap into people's emotions. Not the person that was the most logical, right? In your right mind, you can't end slavery. End slavery. You can't end racism. Anybody's right mind. There's no logical way to end racism. But Martin Luther King made people believe they could, right? There's no logical explanation to say, oh, we could conquer the whole world. But you got people like Napoleon. You got people like Alexander the Great or Alex the Great. You got people who were conquerors that had people believe, whether through speeches, whether through, the way they carried themselves, whether through the battle cries that they cried. They had them believe that they could win whatever, battle that they was going through. You have so many leaders like that. The Pope makes you believe that through Christianity, which I believe, Nah, logically do. But for some people, they might not believe logically you could change the world through Christianity. But people believe with their pastor or their pope or whatever, or they believe that they could be healed.
But it's all tapping into
emotions.
Okay.
Barack Obama is a great person that does this. Nobody really he went off of his campaign with change you could believe in.
Hope.
This desire that we as a people could be better than what we were. Trump, in a weird way, did the same thing, where it wasn't changed,
but for the other side,
but it was changing back. You know, I don't know why I keep hitting the mic. I'm sorry. That's the second time. But changing back, make America great again. He tapped into a emotion, and so this emotion that that drives politics, drives policies, drives the fact that you like to the reason why you edit so well, or not so well, I won't say that. You edit good though.
Thank you.
But the reason why you edit frequently and you do it at high level, right? And you constantly doing it. It's because you enjoy it. Maybe you would have done it if you didn't enjoy it, but maybe would it have been this long? Would you have pursued it this far? The reason why I code so much is because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So there's emotions in most things that we do. I would even say in all things that we do.
Yeah.
Whether it's like going to work, even if you hate it, you do it because you fear the consequences of not going to work or the consequences of not having money, right? And so it's like me just waking up to one, the power of emotions, and then the respect, and me having more respect for emotions. That's really...
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of that Maya Angelou quote. People gonna forget what you said. People gonna forget what you did, but they're not gonna forget how you made them feel.
Yep.
I still don't think as a man that I want to be as emotional.
Can you define that? What do you mean when you say emotional?
Soft, crying.
Oh, you don't want to cry?
Nah. I kind of believe I it's kind of your fault in the sense of
that's my fault. Kind of.
No,
there's a caveat to that.
No. It's kind of I never thought of it this way until you said it. You said like it's not. You don't have nothing against men crying. You have something against adults crying for no reason, and that's why I'm like I never viewed it as like why are you crying? Why can't you just talk? Nobody hurt you, but guess what? But my thing is that's just me. I don't think I'm gonna get to that point to where I'm crying, but can
I just clarify that?
Go ahead, clarify it for me.
I feel like you should cry, right? You should cry, like if
in private, right?
In private, but in control, like you want to cry. I think it's weird when you just. Like you mad, you just start yelling. It's
like, because you view it as a loss of control of emotions more than control of your emotions. Yeah. Okay,
but I think you still express your emotions. But if you crying, you like, man, I can't control this, or you don't have ways to control it or ways to manage it, because sometimes you might not be able to control it. Right? This might be something that triggers something that makes you cry.
Yeah, but
being able to control it and regulate it, I think it's necessary. But
yeah,
I just want to clarify.
Yeah, I'm still not gonna cry, but no, I think emotions is very different. It's everything you named, right? This gonna be kind of controversial, but flow with me for a second, right?
I mean, yeah.
I believe men understand emotions, and that's why men, in a way, if you look through history, manipulate emotions the most.
Interesting.
So
very interesting.
So you talked about and granted, you can manipulate it for good, but the whole point is that you're using emotions to get your point across.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if you are a Martin Luther King that want to get change for the better good, or if you're just a pastor who wants a third offering. In most churches, you see
they could do that.
Exactly.
They tap into that.
They tap into that hope and things like that. And because I think the opposite sex women have more experience in knowing how things can move by their emotion. We only understand emotion to get our way as men. That's how I view it, right? We use it only to. I don't want to make it seem like we're like the evil villains of emotions.
That's where it's going.
But
you just threw away all my notes.
I ain't mean to, but
the whole thing.
But like for the guy that you said, the guy that you brought up earlier in the conversation, he has an understanding of like emotions is not a it's not a gender thing, like things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think we as a society. I think we're getting there, but I don't think we're there yet as men. For me speaking, I don't think I'm as emotional, but I am emotional. Like I'm emotional about weird things, like small things, because I try not to let the big things get to me, and because I'm so focused on big things, that something small will like slip past me, and now I'm mad because you ain't locked the bottom lock, and I'm thinking you just trying to set me up so somebody run up in here and rob me. That's not a real example, but I'm just saying like that's something that's small, and things like that. And I think in my mind, I was always taught to, as a man come up with solutions. So he's logical. It's all the societal things of how like they talk you like a man come up with solutions. He's logical. He's not going to be emotional. But really, on the surface level, we only call women more emotional because they cried.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Not even based off of anything else. Like there's men, I don't know, there's other things, but I'm just saying compared to men, it's like, oh, men not emotional because we just don't cry in public. But if a man out there punching a hole in the wall,
that's mad emotional. Right, that's mad emotional.
But if a man doing all these other things, being passive aggressive and just like being shiesty and things
not
like
talking
that,
to his girl,
exactly, like you're being as emotional as someone who's crying, if not more emotional.
Yeah.
So I think the power of emotions. I think we do it, but for men, I realized that we can be a little bit more manipulative with it if you only viewing it in one way.
Interesting.
I ain't mean to throw away all your notes. I just want to throw that caveat in there.
I like where we're going though. Yeah. So then so are you saying that guys are they understand emotions better than women?
I think men understand the power of emotions,
but they just use it for.
We
don't express it. We don't show it. We if we do show it, it's for manipulation versus.
That's what history has shown.
Interesting.
I like for the opposite sex, and I don't know why I'm speaking for the opposite sex, but you know.
If y'all disagree, comment down below
please
and
comment.
like the video.
I heard they took the dislike button away, but no. Men understand the power of emotions.
Yeah.
Men know what to say to get
people.
We know what to say to get what we want.
Yeah.
In like some factors, right? So I don't think there's a lack of us understanding emotions.
Or understanding the power of
it. I think we kind of understand it because we use it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But being open, being vulnerable, finding a safe space to not be manipulative with your emotions, I don't think we have consistent practice in that.
You know what's funny? I think the reason why so men don't express their emotions is because we understand that we can be manipulated by it because we manipulate so much. Man, this sounds like one of those people I hate. So history.
No. You ain't gotta say we. You just don't think of manipulative in a way of bad.
Bad. That's true.
Like it's just like you can like. You have to, a leader has to galvanize the people to work on something.
And sometimes you
gotta use something.
Moral.
Exactly.
Morale or whatever. But yeah, I don't want to be those guys that's like, guys are bad, guys need to do better. I don't like those people. Because we're all on the same team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But to your point though, I think, that's probably why so many people don't like to be emotional. You hear people even, people in like rough areas say you can't cry because that shows weakness. And somebody knows that this triggers you or this is something that can get you. They're going to use that against you. It's like, oh, he loves stuffed animals. He cried when he dropped his stuffed animal. No one do. Still stuff I'm gonna rip their heads off.
It's a little dark.
But now it's like it's over for that gangster, you know. So I think that's probably why so many men, because like even me, like I don't like showing emotions, and I don't even like showing like what hurts me or what doesn't hurt me in front, my girl or even my parent, or my sisters or my friends, right? Because you don't know when that's gonna be used against you. And it's like that. It's not like I'm constantly thinking about it.
It's almost
like a subconscious thing.
It's just you're protecting yourself.
Or if I do say something, it's like, yeah, I dealt with this, but it doesn't hurt me now. Like, or this is something that I cried about, but I'm not crying about it
exactly.
Now,
now I just don't. I'm indifferent about it.
Or that's so interesting. I never really.
No, when you talk to me about emotion, about how some people don't even remember. Let's say there's a disagreement or something. Yeah. Most of the time, if you ask the person to repeat what was said to them,
they can't.
They can't even tell you.
There's some feuds with families that they don't even understand why this started.
But they remember during that time, you said, Chen, to quote you said they remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
That you rather hurt their feelings or you made them angry in that factor. But it's like, when I think about even when you were just naming like, the Catholic Church leaders, I'm like, men, we understand the power of emotions because speaking, getting people together, you're riling up emotions. But to turn it, and maybe I get us back on course with your notes that I don't know what you said. Like,
there's no safer there, trust me.
Oh, okay.
Just go for the ride.
Okay. my thing is, you said you don't feel, not safe, but like you don't want to share your emotions with things because you don't want it to be used against you. Mm-hmm. As you get older, is that a good trait to have? Do you know what I mean? Like, as in, like, because you're gonna be married, I'm gonna be married, you will have kids, and let's say something's wrong with your kid, right?
Yeah.
And your kid's like, no, I'm good, and you're like, but it's my job as your parent to like look over you. Now, granted, you're grown, so like you're. But my thing is, like, you want your kid or people that's in your household to be open with you. Mm-hmm. Not so much emotion, but just be free, vulnerable if need be. How can you or how can we kind of practice that before? Or is that just something you got to learn on the job? Is that something you just got to be thrown into?
I think you could practice it. I mean, you have people around, right?
Yeah, but it's like my closeness to you is very different than my closeness to my lady. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? There's things that I share with my lady that I won't share with you. Yeah. And it's not even that I don't trust you. Yeah. It's just
a different relationship.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, is that the mature way of being not emotional, but that's the best way to show emotion, to where it's like not being one way with one person. I feel like if you cry, you shouldn't cry to everybody. Yeah. You should find, with every emotion, it should be a safe space that you should have cultivated to be like, you know what? I feel safe to cry with this person or cry in this situation. Besides being one way with everybody, why don't you share with me? Why don't you open up to me? And I'm just like,
I barely know you, my guy.
You're not my safe space.
We're co-workers on pocket, not us, but yeah, I think. Well, going back to your original question, like, how do you foster that or how you practice that? It's like you practice it with the people you have around. Yeah, mm-hmm. The way you talk to your wife at that level is not going to be the same way you talk to your kids. Mm-hmm. Also, your kids, they're kids. Like me, I think adults should be able to control their emotions the older they get.
Yeah.
But kids, kids barely could walk, talk, and they're trying to find themselves. Yeah. And so your job as a parent is to guide them through those emotions and teach them healthier ways. So they're going to have like temper tantrums, or they're going to be crying because they spilled something on their dress or something. But it's just for you to guide them through that, and then say okay, how could we better fix this solution? So that's how I think that's how you open up. I do fear, and I want to touch on one other thing, but I do fear that if you are too emotional, can your kids, especially in the older, like the teenager, life, can your kids then rely on you? Because you kind of are the pillar. And it sucks that you are the pillar. And maybe there's a healthier way to distribute that rock sorts, but you are the pillar for that family. So if you seem emotionally unstable, like, can your kids rely on you? Can your wife rely on you? You gonna cry when they bring things up?
I'm gonna answer it from a child perspective.
Yeah,
because I don't have no children, so I don't.
You don't know.
I do believe in roles. And I believe the role of a husband or the role of the man of the house is different than the role of the woman, the wife of the house.
I agree.
Right? So there's things that I went to my mom about that it was, I don't want to say it was her role, but it fitted, like, that person and her job and what she did as a wife and as a mother or as the woman of the household. Oh, I go to her with this, right? It's not that I didn't or couldn't go to my father, but it's like the best person for the job for this, my mom, for this, right?
Yeah.
My father never cried in front of me. I don't think I ever seen my father cry, right? So to me, other people may look at that and just be like, well, of course he was suppressing some things and he may have been going through some things, and I'm sure he was, and I'm sure now that I'm older, of course he was, you know? But to your point, as toxic as it may sound, because I never seen him as emotional, riled up as my mom, I did look at him as a calm pillar, you know? And maybe it's up to him to have somebody, maybe it was his my mom, because of course, like I truly believe you don't tell one parent one thing and they just be like, well, I'll keep your secret. Like once they go talk, and they convene in the bedroom, they talk in bed, pillow talk, they talking about you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Johnny, daddy knows you doing bad in school, okay? Even though mommy said she ain't gonna say anything. You know?
I ain't gonna tell you that.
So Johnny got 4 F's again. So but
I'm gonna be that boy.
Oh, okay. What? Why?
I'm not hitting my kids. I'm joking.
I don't think I'm gonna hit mine. But it's like I did view my father as strong. Now I don't know if I was being group thinking in the sense of this is what a man look like, he don't cry and things like that, but I think the overall point is that you want to be able to share your emotions when you have emotions in a safe space. And the reality is, in public, random places is not a safe space because people can manipulate, people can hound on that, people won't handle you with care as someone you're familiar with. So I do feel a little weird seeing someone cry in public more than, or showing some type of extreme emotion in public, because I'm like, this is like a safe space type of thing.
Do we give certain people, depending on their role, like the macho men, do we allow them to be a little bit more expressive with their emotions than the regular male?
What do you mean?
For example, a sports player. Joe Rogan is somebody that I've seen cry multiple times. I don't know, fighters sometimes cry. Yeah. When they get worked up. We've seen Mike Tyson cry a couple of times. Yeah.
We also see him knock out.
So I'm saying, like, if they're like the quote unquote standard of masculinity, do we allow them to be more expressive than the regular male? Like, if Jordan Peterson started crying, well, why we seen Jordan Peterson cry a couple of times? So I don't know. What do we? If we have respect for that person,
I think it all leads with respect. I think it all leads with respect and some type of, like, you have to show other traits of, like, alpha. Because listen here, I see Tyson knock out too many people to be like he.
But what's that guy's name? The singer. The one that's like, I'm so happy for you.
Tyrese. My man Tyrese. Congratulations. But to me, I think it's that looked like a temper tantrum to me.
I'm so happy for you.
Because the whole video, you get what I'm saying? It's like, the internet is not the safe space. If he was doing that in public, we should have known about that. I'm happy for the meme. I'm happy for the video. I use it a lot.
Congratulations.
But to me, that is a
that's a lack of control.
That's a lack of control of emotions.
Well, those people that it's still a lack of control, but they're maintaining it.
Yeah, and the lack of control reminds me of a kid who just cries because they can't get what they want. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. And it's hard to toe that line, especially. Trust me, I tell people all the time, if you want to know about yourself or if you want to learn about yourself, get in a relationship. That's fair. That is the speed crash course of knowing yourself or learning yourself. And I realized that some traits that I have, it won't be conducive with the person that I'm with because she ain't from where I'm from. Yeah. So she don't understand something as simple as you can't be nice to everybody. You dude, you see how crazy that sounds? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you should have the freedom to be nice to somebody and to be disappointed than to come out and just be like, why are you smiling at everybody? Like, everybody ain't for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? I sent you a text not too long ago. I said, yo, you know what? I'm going to be more optimistic. I'm going to stop being pessimistic, bro. And because it's just like, it's something that served me up to this point. And now it's like, I think it's time to retire that side of me and learn a new side, optimistic, being more happy and being emotional in the sense of, like, us men, I feel like us men personally, we need to learn new emotions. And like happy.
Or even more complex ones. I think we're so focused on happy and mad.
Yeah, exactly. It's like learn other things, like confused or something. Like, you know what I mean?
Intrigued. You know? Furious. You know, it's a little bit different than just mad. You know, like, I agree with that. So
it's just like, because we only operate in those two extremities, it's like we need more emotions so we can have, like, there's more to life than just those two emotions of just happy, sad, mad, angry. You know what I mean?
And I think a lot of times we just bottle all these emotions up, and sometimes we don't even know what it is. We just, I'm just
But that's confused. Like,
but you're confused about your emotions, not you're confused about what's going on.
But there are some emotions that I may feel that I don't know why I feel it. It's sometimes as a man, you be like, yo, I don't know why I feel this way.
But that's scary. That's like your head hurts. And it's like, I don't know why my head hurts.
So, I mean,
there's a lump right here. It's like, I don't know what that lump is. Like, what is that lump?
But go to therapy. Yeah.
You sound like me.
Season
1, season 2.
And the reason why I say go to therapy.
Wait, are we still on season 2?
I think I moved it to 3 because we got video.
All right, cool.
It doesn't matter. You know?
No, it doesn't. But I was like,
but my thing is, like, there's somebody I know, right? Yeah. And a lot of people is gonna be like, oh, he talking about me because all of y'all said the same thing. So he said, oh, I don't like going to therapy. I said, why? Like, I'm just gonna talk to a stranger about my feelings? And they may say things like, oh, why go to a therapy? The therapist need a therapist. I said, the therapist probably got a therapist.
Like a doctor.
But is there something about the untrusting, not trusting in a way of when I share whatever I'm going through, that it's going to be met with care, met with a solution, met with a brainstorming, met with some digging. So when they say I don't believe in going to therapy, I'd be like, well, you've been trying to deal with it yourself, and you ain't doing good. Yeah. So what happened is they suppress it. And what happens is it comes out in other ways. Yep. And it comes out years later. So something that you suppress today is going to come out 10 years from now in another way. And when it comes out, it going to come out like vomit. It never goes down the way it comes out. Yep. And you ain't going to recognize why you feel this way.
Why it smells like that.
And you
why it looks like that.
I didn't want to describe it. But basically, yeah.
No, you got other people vomiting.
Exactly.
Your vomit.
So, what? Actually, that's deep. I ain't gonna hold you. You got me right there. But
I'm trying to keep up. But hey, man, this man said We literally don't have, what was it?
I don't even remember.
The tips on society. Oh my God, I wish I remember that quote. Go back to last week's episode, bro. That quote was fire. He said that now we on social media and now we literally got it on the fingertips. I was like, golly.
I don't think I sung it, but I feel you. But no, but that what happened. That's my fear.
Yeah.
Because, and truth be told, that's why I say get in a relationship. You learn yourself.
Yeah.
Because when you love somebody, you don't want to hurt like the person you with. You try not to.
I don't know. That's the norm.
But I'm come on. Nobody get in a relationship to be like, I want to hurt my boyfriend. I want to hurt my girlfriend. You are crazy.
I don't know, but I don't understand how some of these relationships exist. But you're right. You're right. I think we set people as normal human beings.
I think everybody going with good intentions, but it just some people don't have the ability to stay that way.
Yeah.
My whole point is,
I say that
because I don't want to hurt my lady or even hurt my boys, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to suppress something that's going to come out years later.
Yeah.
And they are going to get the bad end of the stick
Yeah.
off of something that I should have dealt with years ago. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, that's probably my biggest fear. Now, granted, I'm going to be honest. There's things that I suppress, but I don't dig it so deep that I can't find it. Sometimes it's just not time for me to deal with this at the moment. Like at the moment,
you need time to
yeah, I'd be like, nah. I need to focus on getting this. I need to focus putting that in order, and then I come back and circle back and deal with this emotion. Because sometimes with feelings, I know with me personally, I ain't trying to speak for you, but for me, I don't give attention to everything I feel because some things I feel is just like random, and it's like, will I feel this tomorrow?
That's fair.
And I'd be like, I don't even remember the feeling tomorrow, but I felt it so strongly that day that I'm like, let me just rest on this to see if this really worth addressing.
But then again, I mean, it depends, right? So I think when you talk about digging into something, that's a little different than understanding something. So your house might be shaky.
Okay.
Right? And, you might have rotten wood here and there. And you might see mold. You might be like, I might not want to tear things down because I don't got time or the money to really fix,
And then you totally forget.
Yeah. But what you might do is like, because there's mold there, I'm not gonna go in that corner. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna start wearing masks around the house just because I know there's mold here. I don't want to breathe in because you understand the problem. But you start dealing with the problem. You start opening up walls, and then you found out, okay, there's mold down here. Now you start breaking down the floor. Now you don't got a house because you broke everything up, and now you have to rebuild. If you don't got the energy or the money or the time for that, now you homeless. Now you got to apply land, but you don't got any shelter.
Yeah.
So it's like, I agree with you. It does take some time, but one thing my friend told me, a couple of years back is that what helped her was naming her emotions, and not just like mad, sad, happy. Like, when she's feeling something, like, okay, what is that I'm feeling? You might not have to deal with that, but at least you are conscious. You understand. Okay, yeah. I'm a little irritated. Why am I irritated? Don't worry about it. But I'm irritated. Then you understand. Okay, today, I'm just not going to deal with a lot of people. Just tell your girl like, hey, right now I'm just a little irritated. Just if I snap, just let me.
That doesn't work for my girl.
It doesn't. If you let her know,
my girl, because usually when you get to that, it's like you want to be left alone. Why are you irritated? Are you okay? If I'm not digging, why you got a shovel? I love my girl though. I'm just saying.
That's fair. I mean, that's probably something that she got to work on. But yeah, I mean, you're able to put up different things or preventions where if you don't know what that emotion is and you just like I feel kind of weird today. And your girl's like, hey, can you take out the trash? Like, nah, you take out the trash. You always sit on the ground. Why I always gotta take out the trash? It's like, whoa, sure. What happened at work today?
Okay.
Ain't got goddamn thing happened at work. It's like, why do you think something happened at work? Are you mad? No, I'm not mad. I just want you to take out the trash. It's like, wait, what's going on? Versus when you're irritated, when you're mad, it's a little bit of you being honest with yourself, right? But when you know these things, you're able to better understand, okay, why am I going to snap? versus like you being surprised by you turn it out for no reason. So that's something that I try to practice. I don't do all the time.
Yeah,
but.
and to your earlier point about just the power of emotions, you have to be able to operate emotionally through life.
You got to. I mean, you can't
because emotions itself is just indicators of
it's
just
thing or bad thing.
Exactly. So it's like you just can't let it get too crazy, because just think about it. Like back in the day, I probably would have been like as progressive as the world is today, right? If I was the same way I was back in the day today, I'd probably view that socially awkward. You get what I'm saying? Someone who can't, like, that don't trust nobody, who's off to himself. He isolates. It's just you're socially awkward. It's kind of like when you throw a kickback and everybody you invite don't like people. They don't like to socialize. They all just off to themselves. They just at your house to themselves.
On their phones.
That's socially awkward,
That's
right?
Weird.
Like, dude, so it's like you have to grow in your emotions. I like the thing you said, like, of like defining your emotions, and not just happy, sad. Like you was like some, complex, irritated. I like that one. Some days I wake up, I'm irritated.
You're not furious. You're just irritated.
Exactly. And the thing about it is it's not even somebody did it. Life did it. You just woke up and you just like, oh my goodness. You know what I mean? Some people irritate. I know. I'm not even lying to you. I didn't know there was a such thing as seasonal depression.
I just figured that
like
out.
Somebody that just, it's cold outside, it gets dark earlier, it's winter, I'm sad. I'm thinking it's linked to something. Maybe they lost a family member in the wintertime or something, and maybe that's the case. But it's just like usually around the wintertime, I don't be outside, I don't be socially around. And I'd be like, really? They'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, that's a little strange. You know what I mean? Like, but it's just weird. But it's life. Like, life is full of complex people, so.
That's true.
So, got anything else?
I just want to let everybody know I'm in therapy.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I've been talking about it ever since we started this podcast.
I was so happy you followed your therapy.
But I'm in therapy now. I mean, I was in therapy in 2020, November 2020.
The only reason why I think you started because of COVID, right?
No, I started because of COVID.
Oh, you started, what? You felt like you were going crazy?
No. I just, my job was offering it for free. I took it.
Maybe.
And she said I had YouTube addiction. So I stopped going.
No, maybe you could go into detail, not about what you're going through with therapy, but the general, what people don't know what to expect from therapy. So they project like, you can't fix me. Like, what is a normal thing that they can expect from a therapist? And also the importance of, hey, there's a such thing as the right therapist for you. This therapist may not be good for you, but you have to find the right doctor the same way as you have to find the right therapist. So what should people expect from therapy, just off of a general statement off of it?
I mean, there's different therapists, right?
Okay.
But for the most part, it's really there just to give you tips and tricks.
Okay.
And then also for you to have a person that's not emotionally tied to you, for you to talk out what you're feeling. 'Cause I think it's a lot of times we have these things that we don't want to share with anybody.
Yeah.
And so I think having somebody that doesn't really, you don't really like
they really have
care too much about you, and their job is for you to feel like you could trust them, right? So their job is to open you up, ask you a couple of questions, get you comfortable talking out. So it might start a little light. And, my therapist, the first session was like, what are you expecting from therapy session? What's your expectations from me? And I told her, I was like, I just want you to keep track of the weeks. I had therapists that's like every week. Oh, so what you going through today? Or what you want to talk about today? I want to talk about what we talked about last week. What do you mean? like we dropped off on the hour. And you're like, okay, we're going to talk later on next week. Okay. I have it. And then now you talk about, oh, okay, well, give me an update. It's like, nah, I'm not about to give you an update. So I let her know. But for the most part, it's kind of just having a sounding board. 1, 2, giving you tips and tricks as to what they read about. Sometimes they give their own opinion about certain things. And I think the thing that people feel like a therapist's job is to fix them. That's not really what it is.
That's all I hear from people
Yeah,
saying.
I
hear people saying they can't fix me. They don't understand me.
And it's really for you to better understand yourself.
Okay.
Because it's weird to talk to yourself if you don't have anybody to talk to. So it's really for you to talk, and then they will ask you questions like, well, what about this? What about that?
And
why do you think you feel like that? And then you start to I don't know. I never really thought about it. I feel like this because of this happened and this happened. And
yeah.
Well, is this part of it? Like, you told me the story last week about your father or your mom or your child. Like, is that part of it? It's like, maybe it is part of it. And so then you start to open up these doors because they're saying, well, look at here. Well, look over there. Well, look over here. And you start to connect the dots. And when you start connecting the dots, they start to walk you through and give you points like, okay, this is what happened in this case study. This is what happened in this case study. Maybe your life is best matched with this case study.
Yeah.
And this is what they did to fix and gone through what they,
And the reason why I asked is because you're the only one I know out of my friends that go to therapy just for the sake of
going.
I need to go to therapy. Yeah. Like, as in, like, you just be like, it's been a while. I need to go to therapy. Yeah. When I went to therapy, I made it very clear in the beginning. Hey, my father just died. I don't have no parents. I just want to make sure I don't go crazy. Like, it was a very clear intention that it was basically just a maintenance. Like I feel sad. I feel nothing at times, but I just want to make sure I'm not one of those grown 60-year-old. My parents been dead for 40 years, and I'm just still going crazy about my mother and my father. So that's why I'm like, I don't really go to therapy. Well, not really. I don't go to therapy just because it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's usually something tragic happening in my life, and I just want to make sure that it doesn't overtake my life, or that I'm still optimistic about life in general. So that's why I'm like, maybe how you go to therapy is different than how I did. That's why I'm like, what usually happens on a regular? It's Thursday. It's sunny outside. It's like I have, like, what do you talk about if you ain't got nothing to talk about? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, that's true. But I guess my thing would be like, for example, when you said like, I want to be more optimistic.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I a pessimist? I'll probably go to therapy for that. That's kind of how.
Really?
That's how I deal with it. It's just like, I guess some people treat therapy like a surgeon. They go there because they need surgery. It's like, you need to fix me. And I probably go there like a personal assistant, not a personal trainer.
Okay, so to get stronger.
Yeah. Okay. And this doesn't seem right.
And I realized the reason why I want to be more optimistic, not only because it's now working for me to be the other way, I don't fear disappointment anymore. You know what I mean? It's almost as if like disappointment is almost like it's numbing now. And I think when you automatically put it in your head before, oh, it's not going to work, or maybe it's not going to work, you know what I mean? Yeah. It kind of lessens the blow of when it doesn't work. You're like, I knew it wasn't going, you know what I mean? But now it's like, I'm older now. You kind of know disappointment is part of life. It's like rejection is part of life. Failure is part of life. And it's like you kind of have a understanding of how life works. Yeah. And that it's like that disappointment or that rejection, whatever, doesn't define the totality of you or even your life. So that's why I'm like, I should be optimistic because
that's interesting.
Because what happens is I don't want to rob myself of happiness. And that's something so when I'm optimistic about something and it works, I want to be like truly happy about it, besides feeling relief.
Wow. Because I guess it's a sacrifice. You did?
Yeah.
That's lit. But is which one do you want? Do you not? Is the being able to fully experience that joy, being an optimist, fully experience that joy, because it's like, oh, I really achieved it.
Yeah,
I'm so happy I actually achieved this thing that I've been hoping for. Versus like fearing the regret or feeling the disappointment. Like you can either be really happy and then you're gonna really feel that happiness, or really feel that disappointment. It's like you take that with one, or you don't get that full happiness. You just get that, oh, I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah.
But you also don't, if it fails, you don't have to deal with the full disappointment of like, I really wanted this to work and it didn't work.
And what made me think of it, my girl said something. That's why I said, I'm going to say it again for the fourth time. If you want to learn yourself, get in a relationship. It's a crash course. It's going to be bumpy and it's going to be hell, but you're going to learn a lot about yourself. Yeah. My girl said something in passing, and I notice small things. And I don't deal with it at the moment, but I did one of my suppressing. I digged it, but not all the way down. I just put it in the back burner for a minute. She said something. We was planning something. And she said something across the lines of paraphrase. She said, I just want to hear you have fun. Or I want to hear you say I'm having fun. Because there's this alleged time that we went to Miami and we was in the creek with the alligators and whatever. Yeah. And she thought I said I'm having fun. I never said that. So throughout the relationship, she just want me to say one time, we've been together for 5+ years, I'm having fun. Right? And I'm like, I'm a fun guy. You know what I mean? Like so like you start thinking, so I'm like, but I'm a pessimist in a way though. Yeah. So when something good does happen, I don't feel happy. I feel rather normal or relieved that it didn't go bad. Still, something happy happened, but I'm not happy. So I'm robbing myself of feeling happy. Why not be optimistic? And when it does work out, now that you don't fear rejection because you understand what rejection and how that operates in life, when it don't work out, you know how to be like, that's life. I'm going to be optimistic. Guess what? The character, my therapist didn't say this, I said this. The character of rejection is just be optimistic. Just move on and just hope for something better.
I mean, I think also it's like, it's going to hurt. Yeah. And it's just the fact, and I think that's something I had to deal with when it came to my love life. Like, yeah, you might not get it right all the time.
And what if you're optimistic about getting it right? Yeah. And then you got it right.
Or you see something way beautiful. Maybe you don't get it right, but you learn so much. You experience so much with somebody, and so the fact that the fear.
You rob yourself of a win-win.
You robbing yourself of life. You know, you're just robbing yourself of life. I mean, at least you actually go through with things, right? Yeah. It's not like this fear of rejection or disappointment is stopping you from doing it. Yeah, you still do it, but it's just that you're not fully experiencing the outcome of it. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. I think having the ability to really it's that whole thing about emotions, right? It's like what can I do to control my emotions right now so I don't hurt or feel pain later on? But it's like sometimes you could go, because I think for guys we don't like to go through the emotion. Yeah, and I think a lot of times it's the fear of going through it that restricts us or tries to control it. I still think you should maintain your emotions when you're showing it.
Don't be crying in public, please.
But you should definitely feel it fully. Like you should never stop or get in the way of you feeling your emotions to the full extent.
Man, hopefully for 2022, man, we can understand
our 2022. That's crazy.
Yeah, technically, but hopefully we can understand our emotions better. You know, just as people. You said something that is my favorite line about communication. About how, both, because some people say, women communicate better than men. Yeah. Because they're open. To where men, we suppress everything. We don't know how to communicate. But you said something that was astounding, where you was like, we really both don't know how to communicate. Yeah. Because as men, we suppress everything, so we don't even have the experience enough of communicating to know to do it well. Yeah. And because women, they do it so much that it can be more than what's needed in the communication that doesn't make it direct and accurate and needed for that situation. A lot of fluff. Fluff is my favorite word.
No, I think the issue is not. It's not even fluff, right? I think it goes back to understanding your emotions. I think both people don't understand their emotions.
Really?
Yeah, I think for women, they know how to express their emotions, but that doesn't mean they understand it. And for men, they know how to control their emotions, but they don't understand it. And so it's like, I think it's both. Like they're expressing it, they're going through their emotions, but they don't know what they're feeling. They don't understand why. It's like, why are you back with him? Because I love him. No, you don't. Because you're scared that you can't get nobody else. Right? Like this man beating you, hurting you, or maybe he's manipulating you, but you don't understand that it's manipulation that he's doing. You don't really understand your emotions. That's a crazy, wild example, and I'm sorry for those people that are going through it.
Very dramatic.
Yeah, like sincerely. I know it looks like I'm always joking, but I'm serious. If you're going through that, I don't know. Is there a hotline that people?
There's no hotline for this one.
Right. And but for guys, it's like guys would like just be like, yeah, I'm good. No, don't worry about it. I'm good. Good. And I feel like most guys really believe that they're good.
But really,
hurting, like they really mad.
But really, as a human, it's like you're not made that way.
And you think about it, it's like, why did I just not talk to this girl? Like this been me a couple of times,
or know? Just that guy, or just amongst friends, or your parents, or something like that. You know,
why did I just like kirk on this man for no reason? I'm sorry, I ain't even. So I think it's just not understanding emotion, and maybe that's something that we need to.
2022, let's do better at that.
Let's define our emotions.
Let's clear up our communication and emotions, man. But subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share the channel. Don't be selfish. You know, I don't put nothing over there.
No buttons.
I do it for this one, but don't make it. You're making my editing process longer. But
my fault.
But it's fine though. Okay.
Sorry, just one last one.
Okay, last one. I got you. Blessings.